all of our listeners, thanking you kindly for choosing us, allowing us to influence you in a positive way. It's Freedom Monday on Conversations with Zelisa with Dr. Go Tiwari. So I am Zelisa Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, absorb, get your pen, get your paper, so you could take notes, and as we continue to inform, educate and empower. All right, directing this morning and in Master Control, Hisham Costello. On behalf of our team, we'd like to wish each and every one of you a marvelous day today. It's the beginning of another work week, and of course the flavor of the season is Diwali. Yes, so of course happy Monday the 6th of November 2023. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. Let's quickly go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. And our quote says, "Two things define us, our patience when we have nothing and our attitude when we have everything." I'm going to repeat this because I think it's very deep. Two things define us, our patience when we have nothing and our attitude when we have everything. That came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Remember to check them out today for all of their deals and of course safe and secure parking. Today it's Freedom Monday. Our program is coming to us with the kind compliments of Docks Engineering Works Limited, Charon's Bookstores and of course Lifetime Solutions. Let's say a very good morning going out to Dr. Go Tiwari and special guest.
Good morning, Zelisa. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is Freedom Monday. I'm Go Tiwari. And we have Senator Timol with us this morning, Senator Derup Timol, who is president of the Diwali Nagar organization and the NCIC, National Council for Indian Culture, which in fact is responsible for this and a whole number of other events in Trinidad and Tobago. So we want to talk to him about this important initiative and ongoing initiative for I don't know how many years now. How many years has it been?
This is 36 years.
This is 36 years that they have been doing this every year without fail. They might have had some difficulties in the COVID years, 2020 and 2021. But they have always been on time. They've always been there with the culture. They've always been there leading up to Diwali Day. And it has been a major event for Trinidad and Tobago. So let us welcome him. Senator, it is an honor to have you here this morning and to have you talk about Diwali Nagar and other things related to the NCIC, if you wish. And I want to welcome you and I want to thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. First of all, I must start to the listening audience and also to express on behalf of the NCIC, our pleasure being here.
Yes. Well, tell me about Diwali Nagar this year. I was there at the opening. You had a wonderful start. You had a thoughtful guest speaker. You had the Minister of Tourism and Culture. And basically, you had a wonderful cultural program as well of some variety. And you had a good audience for an opening night. So tell me about, first of all, what is happening this year and how it is unfolding.
Okay, well, normally Diwali Nagar every year revolves around a theme that we choose. And this year we have chosen the theme of Dharti Mata, Mother Earth, because we wanted to have a theme that is contemporary, a theme that is exceedingly relevant to the times that we are in, and with all of the focus on the environment and the abuse of the environment. We have seen all the negative impacts of climate change. we felt that we should utilize the event of Diwali Nagar to bring to the nation um, this issue and to have citizens be educated and informed about the fact that Mother Earth is a living entity, has to be treated responsibly, not abject exploitation, but responsible exploitation, responsible use. So we are playing our part, in this movement to combat climate change and to bring environmental awareness to our population.
Yeah, well, these concepts are Vedic concepts, and they are connected with the current thinking about the environment and so on. But tell me something about this notion of Earth as a living entity, and tell us about this notion of all living things being connected, which is such a fundamental tenet and understanding of Hindu tradition and belief.
Yeah, it's a core belief in that every single thing, the entire creation, in fact the entire universe, is pervaded by this single consciousness that gives purpose, gives life to everything. And because of that presence within everything, it makes it, it is conscious. So we see everything as living, not only plants and not only animals, but all animate and inanimate objects derive their existence from this underlying consciousness. And what is interesting, there's a composition in the Atharva Veda, the Bhumi Suktam, which is a composition by the seers, ancient seers, 43 stanzas dedicated to Mother Earth. And this underlying consciousness is what unifies all the diversity there is on Earth. So that within all the diversity, there's this common connection, which is the divine consciousness. And it tells us that, look, we are all together, we are all from that same divine consciousness. And if we live in a way that we affect others negatively, well then we are also disrespecting that divine consciousness within us.
Yes. So there is a philosophical and a spiritual side to this, which is that the consciousness that drives the universe is the life force that connects all living things in the universe. And as you say, it is not just your trees and plants and your animals, but even the existence of a stone is something with a consciousness, but there are levels of consciousness.
Of course, which is why it is not surprising that you would find Hindus worshipping, a stone, because we see that consciousness within the stone.
So the worship is not of the stone as God, but the stone as representing the pervasive consciousness which carries the universe, and therefore the presence of God in everything.
Yeah, well put, very well put, which is, it extends. For instance, we just came through the Navratri period, and one particular feature of Navratri is where worship or puja is done for the kanyas. Young girls are selected, and they are worshipped because you are seeing that divine mother within those young girls.
Those children, yes.
So it's not just a question of saying, we're worshipping young girls,
yes.
But it's that divine mother, that divine consciousness within the girls that is being acknowledged.
Yeah, the complexity of Hinduism sometimes undermines understanding if you don't have a good sense of it. And I welcome this opportunity to explain some of the hard concepts in a simple way. Hopefully we can explain it in a simple way so that people can understand. So the consciousness that pervades the universe and carries life throughout the universe also exists in the human being. So in a fundamental way, you have body and you have soul, the soul representing the consciousness of the divine in the individual. And that is the connection between the human being and this all-pervasive consciousness, which in fact represents God or godliness, or represents the higher consciousness that carries life in the universe. So the connection between man and God is at that level, not the body, but the level of consciousness. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's described in some of the scriptures as the sutra, the thread that connects us all.
Yes.
The thread of the divine consciousness that connects us all. So whatever we do, it impacts on each other.
Yes. And the soul never dies. The Bhagavad Gita tells us the soul never dies because it is really God in us. So the consciousness within us, the soul, goes back to its origin. And that is the connection between man and God after the body is defeated, you might say.
Yeah, we say, yeah, of course, the soul is eternal. It never dies. Lord Krishna beautifully describes it in Bhagavad Gita through very beautiful verses about the everlasting nature of the soul.
Yes.
And we are here for a human experience.
Yes.
But we are spiritual beings.
Okay.
Here for a human experience, but unfortunately, the human experience dominates and clouds and informs, the entire experience. And we forget that divine inheritance that is within us.
Yes. And that doesn't mean that you can't have a good time. And I mean, Diwali is about celebration. And Diwali is about love. It's about peace. It's about light. It's about the triumph of good over evil, light over darkness. And there are many stories associated with that, but the most important story that is perhaps most pervasive and accepted is the one about Lord Rama returning from exile, and his citizens, the citizens of Ayodhya, actually lining the streets on this dark night with the diyas in order to welcome him home. And we celebrate that in reverence to Lord Rama's experience and the joy of that, but we also celebrate that as something related to Mother Lakshmi, who is known as the goddess of wealth. Wealth meaning not money, but the human wealth, which can encompass a whole number of things.
Yes. First, I just say, spirituality, a lot of times the whole image of spirituality is with asceticism.
Yeah.
And I realize that you mentioned about joy and happiness. And
yes, of course.
But spirituality exists in joy.
Yes.
It exists in just that freedom of expression, interacting with nature, seeing the creation, seeing the divine in all of the creation, and all of the joy that brings. Yeah. So in the tradition, although the asceticism is there in the realm of the sannyas, those who have decided to take up that spiritual pathway, the whole thing about joy, freedom of expression, having a good time.
Yes.
It is there. This is where the festivals come in.
Yes, of
and
course.
And you will notice the festivals is an opportunity to worship in a different way.
Yes.
The divine. Primarily through community.
Yes.
Engaging with each other.
Yes.
And exploring, the dimensions of the human relationships. Putting aside all our challenges for that period of time, and we see that spontaneity that comes around, particularly for Diwali, and now that we see it happening on a national scale.
Yes.
That spontaneity is there. The nation has embraced Diwali. The same way that Christmas has been embraced.
Yes, by all.
Our Christian brothers and sisters in terms of the spiritual dimensions and the religious dimensions, it is there for them very pronounced. But for a lot of other people who celebrate
It's
Christmas,
just
cultural.
joy and celebration.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we see Diwali taking that direction. A person who participate in the lighting of the diyas, having a Diwali meal at home, inviting friends over. So that culture is evolving with Diwali.
We'll explore some of that when we come back. We'll take a break now so Zelisa can share some information with us.
Thank you, Dr. Tiwari, and of course special guest Senator Mr. Derup Timal, President of NCIC. Our program coming to us with the kind compliments of Docks Engineering Works Limited, Phoenix Park West, Point Lisas Industrial Estate, Charon's Bookstores, Eastern Main Road, San Juan, 4347 Chotu Road, Unit 8, El Socorro South, 53 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, Trincity Mall, Trincity, 32 Shigonas Main Road, and Port of Spain. Our program also coming to us with the kind compliments of Lifetime Solutions, 27 Arapita Avenue, Port of Spain, Omera Industrial Estate, Arima, Caroni, Sapero Road, San Fernando, and Bonacord, Tobago. Do continue to stay with us. Let's go to these important messages.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docks, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Charon's Bookstore for all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trincity Mall, Trincity. Contact them at 640-3155. Calm down. Check out Charon's Bookstore.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
Super quality supermarket, best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
This Diwali, be sure to visit the Fab India Expo, your one-stop shop. Comfortable ambience, ample parking, multi-cuisine food court, arcade for the kids, Mehendi and Spa, the Fashion House of Trinidad, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas, with extended opening hours from now until Diwali, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Due to the delay in containers, the India InStyle Expo will be opening from the 27th of October until the 20th of November. India InStyle Expo, opposite the Center of Excellence in Macquarie, is opening from the 27th until the 20th of November. This Diwali, look elegant with their newly imported latest fashion Indian garments, matching jewelry, shoes and even purses. Opening hours are 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, closing on the 20th of November.
all of our viewers, all of our listeners, thank you kindly for choosing us. Welcome back. It's Freedom Monday with Dr. Bo Tiwari on Conversations with Zelisa. Our program coming to us with the kind compliments of Docs Engineering Works Limited, Charon's Bookstores and Lifetime Solutions. Dr. Tiwari, welcome back.
Yes, thank you very much, Zelisa. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Our guest is Senator Derup Timol, the President of National Council for Indian Culture of Trinidad and Tobago, and they are responsible for Diwali Nagar and a number of events every year, but we are talking about Diwali Nagar this year. The theme of Diwali Nagar this year is Dharti Mata, which is Mother Earth. And what they did was they had, I think, about 5 or 6 nights of Ramayana, and you had pundits basically exploring the scriptures and the scriptural foundation of this notion of Mother Earth and the importance of Earth as a living entity in the universe, and its meaning, of course, to human beings, to man. And the second part of it, of course, is the celebratory side as we move to Diwali, in which you have culture and the arts, and you have commerce, people displaying their services, their goods, etc., so that hundreds of people, sometimes thousands, can come through Diwali Nagar in Shaguanas and basically engage not just the culture but engage the community. So I want to ask Mr. Timol, Senator Timol, how do you get from the spiritual side and the spiritual foundation side to the celebratory side, and how does Dharti Mata fit into that process?
Yeah, thank you both for asking that question, because normally the first question about Diwali Nagar would be the food, right?
Yes.
But as a forerunner to Diwali Nagar, we do have the Yajna, which is based on the theme, and it allows those persons who are on the Singhasan the opportunity to bring their perspectives from the Hindu viewpoint to the theme. And this year we had actually we changed the format a bit. We had three Vyas pundits.
Yes.
We had Gita Vahini from the Hindu Prachar Kendra, Swami Prakashananda from Chinmaya Mission, and Pandit Abhinanand as well. And what was very rewarding for us is that perspectives from Rapcharitamanas came forward, perspectives from the Bhagavad Mahapuran, and also perspectives from the Bhumi Suktam, which I mentioned
before. Yes.
Yeah, so they were able to go back into those scriptures thousands of years ago and bring forward the perspectives on how the worldview, to start with, the Hindu worldview, and how Mother Earth fits into that worldview, and identify our individual and collective responsibilities towards Mother Earth. So then we take that, it lays the spiritual and religious foundation for Diwali Nagar every year, and we are able to take that to translate it into the event itself. And one of the major pillars that we use to do that would be the exhibition. There's an exhibition with about 100 and just over 100 posters that has been developed on the theme. We refer to it as the thematic display, and it's mounted at the Diwali Nagar in the inner hall. And the public do come in and they take their time, go through, read about the theme. The main aim is to educate and to inform the population and visitors about the perspectives on the theme. We also try to encourage on the stage performances, the cultural performances, items that are relevant to the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we achieve that with a fair degree of success. and sometimes it's a bit challenging.
Yes, of course.
So for that matter, this year it's a bit challenging because when we research the musical compositions, I mean it's all related to the Divine Mother.
Yeah.
But the specific songs and dances and all of things that relate specifically to Mother Earth, we call upon our artists to be creative, to be innovative, you know, and actually come up with items that you can create and produce to get onto the stage of Diwali Nagar. So that is, we try to reflect the theme throughout the Nagar itself. The front entrance is designed as well to reflect the theme.
Yes.
So this year we have used a lot of bamboo, a lot of plants to give it a sort of earthy feeling to the front entrance.
All right. I think you've created a wonderful opportunity to get into some environmental action in Trinidad and Tobago from the theme that you are carrying this year. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a natural flow to some actions related to conservation, to planting, to basically, you know, dealing with garbage, dealing with the shoreline, all of those things. So that is something I think that you can think about in terms of future action. I noticed this year though in Diwali Nagar, there's a lot of emphasis on young people. Now, Diwali Nagar has been pioneered by a number of people who have served this society well. People like Hans Hanuman Singh, people like Devkinanand Sharma, who was your predecessor, and others. I mean, I know a whole lot of them who were involved in the Diwali Nagar over the last 30 years or so, and they have given a lot. But how do you get the continuity? How do you get the involvement? How do you get the sustainability for what you are doing, what you are trying to do, and what you are trying to achieve?
Right. Well, during my tenure, my focus will be on youth.
Young people.
Young people, because I mean you have known me for a while, and you know that is one of my passions.
That's right.
And actually, the new board of the NCIC that was created in April of this year, almost about 60% of the board are new persons, and almost all of them are young people.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. I have deliberately taken steps to make sure that to include the chairman of the youth arm as one of the directors on the board, so that he will be able to experience what takes place at board meetings, bring the youth perspective to the board, and hoping that we can accelerate the involvement of the youth in the NCIC, and also come up with special programs focused on young people. We have had our youth arm for quite some years now, and the intention is to maximize. It has been so far more internalized within the NCIC. But what I'm hoping to do is to have the youth arm take a more pronounced role nationally in the field of East Indian culture.
Okay.
So that their presence is more pronounced, and very important is that we can network with all youth organizations throughout the country and the wider Caribbean, in fact throughout the world, so that we can have that networking exchange amongst the youths who have a passion for culture, a passion for promoting culture, and open the doors for them so that there are no limitations.
Okay, this year you tapped the diaspora. I know you've done that over and over the 36 years or so, to get a speaker from New York who is a judge there in this court system. And you had the Minister of of Tourism and Culture. So when we come back, we're going to take a break now, but when we come back, I want to talk to you a little bit about the diaspora side of this, And I also want to talk about the tourism potential side of Diwali Nagar and see if we can get somewhere in that discussion. Okay? So we take a break now. Back to Zelisa and her sponsors.
Thank you, Doc. Our program this morning coming to us with the kind compliments of Doc's Engineering Works Limited, Charon's Bookstores and Lifetime Solutions. Let's go to these important messages when we return. Of course, Dr. Tiwari continues his conversation with Senator Derup Timal, President of NCIC Trinidad and Tobago. Stay with us.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Charon's Bookstore for all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charon's Bookstore.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
Looking for an adventure? Then come to Massa Nature Park. There are scenic spaces for picnics, adults and kids swimming pools, apartments for rent, huts for cooking, liming, and beautiful nature trails for hikes. Business hours 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Conveniently located at Brasso, Grand Couva. Contact us at 777-4531 or 335-0183. Let the fun begin. Tile Expression Limited, the #1 leader in tiles. Large stock, unbeatable prices, wide variety of porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, wall and floor tiles, residential and commercial, granite and quartz countertops. Best quality from Spain, Italy, Brazil, India and China. Tile Expression Limited, conveniently located Monroe Road, Kunapir. Telephone 693-0015 or 223-TILE.
Welcome back to all of our viewers, all of our listeners near and far. And of course, it's Freedom Monday on Conversations with Zelisa with Dr. Bo Tiwari, coming to us with the kind compliments of Doc's Engineering Works Limited, Charon's Bookstores and Lifetime Solutions. Doc?
Yes, thank you, Zelisa. We back. This is Freedom Monday. I am Bo Tiwari. My guest is Senator Derup Timal, and we are talking about Diwali Nagar in particular and NCIC and its activities in general. Now, I was asking you about the connection between Diwali Nagar in Trinidad and Tobago and the diaspora, and secondly, what you think is the tourism potential of Diwali Nagar. Is there any connection here? Is there any possibility?
Yes, first of all, well, the diaspora is substantial.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about the Indian diaspora, but the Indo-Caribbean diaspora.
Yeah.
We would know it's quite extensive in Canada, the US, the UK. And based on what we are discovering is that because we started to do our own production, our own stage production, the videography and the production itself for broadcast. So we have feeds going to through our streaming on our YouTube channel.
Right.
We find persons from as far away as Fiji tuning in to the live stream. Sri Lanka as well. Of course, we're hoping to tap into the Indian market. But from all around where the Indo-Caribbean diaspora is, and to a lesser extent the Indian diaspora, there has been good, encouraging response from these countries. Diwali Nagar, over the years, in the past and to present, we have participation from the diaspora. We will have artists coming from Canada, the US, more Canada, US, and of course our Caribbean neighbors, Guyana and Suriname.
Guyana and Suriname.
Yeah, even
I know you've had that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jamaica as well.
Yeah.
So, and then also we have a chief guest for Diwali Nagar. And over the years, including this year, we had Madam Justice Gopi, Karen Gopi, first female judge appointed in New York. So we do interact to network with the diaspora, and we're hoping that we can keep building on that in more meaningful ways and more sustainable ways.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it lays the basis for cultural tourism.
Yes.
And promoting Diwali Nagar as a cultural destination, well, to Trinidad and Tobago for the event itself.
Yes.
Now, what we observe is that quite a lot of the diaspora, those who have left Trinidad and residing abroad, they would choose to come back to Trinidad around Diwali time.
Yes.
I don't have the figures because we haven't done the research, but I do know it's a substantial amount of persons.
Yeah.
And we treat that as part of the cultural tourism because they're coming back home, they're taking flights to come back in, money is being spent, all of those things. They come not only to Diwali Nagar, but to experience Diwali throughout Trinidad and Tobago in areas like Felicity and other areas where communities have done excellent work over the years. And though I must mention this, sometimes a lot of focus is on Diwali Nagar. Yeah, expectedly so. But we cannot forget the role of the communities in the development of Diwali Nagar as a national festival.
Yes.
A lot of times you would hear, yes, Diwali Nagar. Of course, Diwali Nagar has been pivotal. But at the same time, it was pivotal based on the foundation laid by the communities. Because growing up, you would know that all the communities, wherever there was a savannah, or village council, the boys in the village would get together, go and cut their bamboo, bring it back, get donations, get people to come and perform. And actually that was the genesis, I think, of building Diwali into a national festival.
When you think of Diwali, though, I mean, when I think of my own childhood, which is, eons away, it was really a festival of the home and the neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. Then it evolved, it became a community festival. And people, as you say, every savannah became a place for basically designing how the lights would look by cutting the bamboo and designing them and so on. And then you had the emergence of Diwali Nagar, which brought a central focus. But that is also important because Diwali Nagar as a central focus. This must be the only place in the Western Hemisphere that basically dedicates a week to the celebration leading up to Diwali as a festival in a single place, and that in itself is vital. But there is a second thing though, which is Ram Leela. Ram Leela leads up to Diwali. And you have these things like Dow Village, you have Felicity, you have many communities that actually celebrate Diwali in this way. And now as people become involved in theater and so on, and they can put it on stage, some of them do it on stage, they wait until sometimes leading up to Diwali, they would put it on stage. I know Sat Balkaran Singh has done this. And you have people who might wait for after Diwali and do it, so that you, in a more quiet time, you might be able to go and see it on stage. And these things, I mean, that connection between Diwali Nagar community, Ram Leela, I mean, really makes for a pretty full texture of cultural experience within the Indian community, and driven by the Hindu tradition of Diwali in Trinidad and Tobago, which I think is very, very unique.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you have summarized it like that, because based on the point I was making, is that Diwali Nagar, of course, a key element in the cultural package, if you're looking at cultural tourism. But we add that to all the celebrations in the communities.
Yes.
You know, like that celebration of Felicity that has to be rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Fantastic celebration from the community.
Yes.
Together with the Diwali Nagar, and I'm glad you have added in Ram Leela.
Yeah.
So that entire package as a tourist package.
Yes.
Yeah, I think has tremendous potential.
Sure.
For Trinidad and Tobago. And I must mention, we have on board this year Diwali Nagar Caribbean Airlines. They have come as one of our major sponsors.
Yes.
And I think they
could work with that.
Yeah, they are recognizing the potential of this period of time in Trinidad and Tobago to attract tourists.
So the Diwali period becomes a central time in which you can, and then, you know, all of that is connected to Indian food, street food, the diversity of Indian foods, with meaning local as well as Indian, with its own Trinidadian flourish here. So the food is a value besides the culture, and it does not deny them from going to the beach or going into the forest or going up the mountain or going on a hike or anything like that. So you can have all of Trinidad and Tobago and still have the experience coming out of the Hindu and Indian community.
Yeah, we are fortunate. That package you outlined there.
Yeah.
We have rainforest, we have excellent hiking trails.
Hiking trails, of course.
Hiking trails.
And they could be connected.
So those who have that love for nature, we have the Easterite Nature Center. I mean, we are blessed with a lot of resources, rightly combined with the culture.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be quite an experience.
Yeah, and you have, and Ram Leela is outdoor theater. I mean, it is one of the unique, this thing has been going on for 100 years, you know.
Well, what's interesting is that in India itself, a lot of Ram Leela has stood in the urban areas particularly, has gone to stage.
Yes, of course.
Ram Leela.
Yeah.
But in Trinidad, we have retained a lot of what we refer to as the Maidan Ram Leela.
Yes.
That is performed in the open
in
field.
the open air. Yeah.
In the open air, subject to all the mud and the rain and everything that comes with it. That makes it a unique experience.
But that is unique. You know, Derek Walcott talked about that. He did not miss it.
And the community identification with that Maidan Ram Leela is very pronounced. Shifting to stage, I'm not saying anything negative about stage.
Yeah.
There's place for that as well.
No, there's a place for all of these things. Yes,
but
of course.
You don't get that experience with the stage.
Yes, of course.
And one thing I must mention with the stage Ram Leela, this year we had a production at Sapa.
Yeah.
Done by the Satyajishti Sporting and Cultural
Yeah, I saw it. I did not get to go.
First time they took the Ram Leela onto a national stage, such as Sapa. And I think it's an effort that has to be loaded and has to be supported.
Yeah, well, you need both. You need both. You don't want to lose the earthiness of the open air Ram Leela. All right, but at the same time, you want to give artists an opportunity to be creative and to do things and so on. So we will take a break at this point, and when I come back, I will discuss some more controversial issues with you. because I know that you had been in the center of this. You made a statement in Parliament when some of the, when a temple was desecrated and the worshippers disturbed. And I want to talk a little bit about the climate in Trinidad and Tobago. All of us want peace, we want harmony, we want to have diversity and unity. But there are often tensions in the society which, if you don't manage it, they can get out of hand, and you need responsible management and leadership in order to make that possible. So we'll come back and talk about that.
Sure. Reminding you our program this morning, coming to us with the kind compliments of Doc's Engineering Works Limited, Tarrant's Bookstores and Lifetime Solutions. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Charan's Bookstore for all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charan's Bookstore.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
This Diwali, be sure to visit the Fab India Expo, your one-stop shop. Comfortable ambience, ample parking, multi-cuisine food court, arcade for the kids, Mehendi and Spa, the fashion house of Trinidad, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas, with extended opening hours from now until Diwali, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Due to the delay in containers, the India Install Expo will be opening from the 27th of October until the 20th of November. India Install Expo, opposite the Center of Excellence in Macquarie, is opening from the 27th until the 20th of November. This Diwali, look elegant with their newly imported latest fashion Indian garments, matching jewelry, shoes, and even purses. Opening hours are 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, closing on the 20th of November.
Have you been diagnosed with stroke, Parkinson's disease, dementia, or migraine headaches? Do you have weakness of your feet, hands, or face? Are you having trouble with your memory? Do you keep forgetting where you place your keys? Do your hands shake? Are your muscles stiff? Do you have bad headaches? Then the solution is Synapse Medical Services Limited. The consultant physician at Synapse Medical Services is a UK-trained specialist in internal medicine with Canadian training in general neurology and stroke neurology. To book an appointment now, WhatsApp 367-9368. That is 367-9368, and be on your way to a speedy recovery.
Welcome back. It's Freedom Monday on Conversations with Zelisa with Dr. Bo Tiwari and special guest today, Senator Derup Timal, President of NCIC of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming to us with the kind compliments of Doc's Engineering Works Limited, Charan's Bookstores and Lifetime Solutions. Dr. Tiwari, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Zelisa. We're back here. Thank you for staying with us We're very happy to have you. We are on Synergy TV and U97.5. This is Freedom Monday. I am Bo Tiwari. And we're talking to our guest, Senator Derup Timol, the President of National Council for Indian Culture of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, we talked about a lot of constructive things, positive things, but there are little tensions sometimes in the society that erupt. We had a situation recently where a temple was desecrated and people disturbed in the temple. This is not the first time it has happened before, but this has also happened, to be fair, not only in the Hindu community, but with churches, sometimes with mosques, etc. And it is something that really in a society like us, which is fairly tolerant, we should not see, and it should certainly not be tolerated. You felt moved the other day to raise the matter in Parliament. How do you feel about that? How do you, would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, well, my main reason for raising it at the level of Parliament was based on concern. Yes. As a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, because we are a diverse nation. I mean, a lot of times we like to identify the differences amongst us, but I'm always a champion for the commonalities. Yes. I find we have more commonalities amongst us as a people than differences.
Yeah, we are Trinis, yes.
Yeah. When you look at how we interact, how we live, compare us with the rest of the world. I mean, sure, tensions would rise, words would be said, and those things. But I think we are indeed a special place with regards to diversity, how we live with each other. I'm not using the word exist with each other. I think
we live well with each other.
We live well with each other. So it was stemming from this that we have achieved over the many years, since even prior to independence and now. And whether or not what is taking place is, are we handling it in a responsible manner? Yes. Because what I've seen, there are countries throughout the world, in some countries, you know, things start off just as trickles, as I use that term in Parliament. And they may be looked at isolated incidents, but eventually, when stringed together, it turns into a flow. And by the time it turns into a flow, it is difficult to pull it back. Yes. Because it gets a dynamism on its own and it takes off. And a lot of times when it takes off, the authorities and the institutions are surprised by it.
Overwhelmed, yes.
And they are overwhelmed. And we see that happening in so many spheres of our national life at this point in time. Yes. So I just thought I'll raise it because it was not just one incident. It's a series of incidents over the years. I think research has been done, and it couldn't have been as much as 10 to 12 incidents. Yes. And while some of it would just be, you know, just vandalism, I think, some of it can be classified as vandalism. You know, somebody just vandalizing the places. You know, some of it, you know, there's cause for concern. Yeah. Because to deliberately go into a mandir with beef, corned beef, and alcohol, cook it on the premises.
Yeah, it's pure wickedness.
Yeah. And I find that if we continue being dismissive of it, yes, and saying it's being done by a vagrant or being done by a mentally disturbed person, I think our nation deserves something more than that. Yeah. Something deeper than that. That should be thoroughly investigated to make sure that it is nipped in the bud. It is from that perspective that I raised the concern.
No, I think you're right. Well, I mean, first of all, we had a broken window theory, which is that once you see a broken window in a neighborhood, if you don't go and fix that and try to figure out what it is caused that, pretty soon you're going to end up with broken windows throughout the neighborhood, and you're going to end up with a ghetto. And so there is that kind of thing, and you're going to end up with a crime-ridden community. So caution, I think, is important, and also dealing with the problem when it first arises is important. And then the other thing is that a society has to have standards of conduct that it will not condone. And I think that even if you have a society in which disrespect is growing for almost everything, there should be some things that are sacred. You do not interfere with a temple, a mandir, you do not interfere with a mosque, you do not interfere with a church. You leave those things as sacred spaces. And I think the society would do well to honor these basic things. And I think that you were absolutely right to raise it. I think you are raising it for the right reason. I think you are raising the right thing. And I think the society really has to come together and understand that these are standards that we set for ourselves that we will not violate. And these are things that we will not tolerate. And we want to make sure that such things do not escalate. Because we were very, very condoning of crime. We excuse a lot of little crimes, all right, thinking that, well, what does it matter that, you know, they steal some orange from your tree or whatever it is. And look where that has gotten us, you know. So I feel that we have to, I mean, I think that we have to take a strong stand on things like that. But let us end on a very positive note. Diwali is a time of giving. It is not a time of taking. It is a time of giving. It's a time of sharing. It is a time of reaching out. And Diwali has evolved very nicely in Trinidad and Tobago, where people beyond the Hindu community participate in it. In a lot of the outdoor festivals and a lot of the community festivals, you have people of all religions, of all races, participating as community in it. And that is a wonderful thing. And people come out, they are part of the festival, and so on. But Diwali is a time of giving. It's an important time. And tell me some of the things that you do that really captures that spirit of reaching out and giving to the rest of the community, within the community and without.
Yes, I'm glad how you have framed your question and the background that you have given, because giving, one of the forms of the Divine Mother, Ashtalakshmi, the 8 forms, well, one of them is Danya Lakshmi.
Yes.
Which is the
giving dan.
Giving dan. And actually it is one feature of Diwali that I strongly identify with.
Yes.
In fact, I think if, yes, we'll have the food and the lighting of the diyas and all those things, but if we could take that aspect of Diwali, of the Divine Mother, and build on it, you know, strengthen it, where it becomes a time of giving. Yeah. And in this celebration of Diwali, everybody gives something.
Something,
yeah?
yes.
So focus should be there on the vulnerable, you know, the not so fortunate. And it would be really great if we can incorporate that into our celebration of Diwali.
Yes.
I think it will be a positive step, and it will really further establish Diwali in a national context.
Yes.
Where we reach all communities and sectors of our society.
And you do a lot with children and so on, right?
Yeah. So one of the least known aspects of Diwali Nagar, because for certain reasons we will not publicize it to embarrass the parties that are involved or take photographs for media.
Yes.
It's that we do a treat for the children from Children's Home.
Yes.
From the various Children's Home. Actually, it was held yesterday.
Yes.
Where they would come in. We had almost over 200 children from the various Children's Home, and they were treated Diwali treat. Of course, all the things to eat and all those things. But we had a special show.
Yes.
Where we expose them to the characters of the Ramayana, the Ramlila characters. We had a magic show and all of those things. Entertain them, you know, give them a memorable moment so that they can cherish that moment and have that there. So we have that there. We also go make a lot of efforts to have students come to the Valley Nagar. We're having school tours for primary school students on Tuesday of this week, and on Wednesday we'll be having secondary schools. So they also come, they're educated about the theme, and we have cultural performances, they have something to eat and all of those things. And also, as part of the giving, we love to encourage our NGOs who are engaged in communities to come to the Nagar. We give them booth space free of charge.
Yes.
So that they can engage and interact with the
Public.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to close there. Let us leave you with 3 messages from Diwali. Share whatever little you can. Give whatever you can to someone in need. And protect the earth and protect the environment. These are 3 important things that we can do and have as part of our life as we continue to live as human beings with one another in this great country, Trinidad and Tobago, and on this great planet Earth. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Thank you, Doc. Special thanks to Doc's Engineering Works Limited, Tarrant's Bookstores, and Lifetime Solutions. Here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Budasing Rupani. Thanks for choosing us.
You can see it again at 3 o'clock.